Here's a question that comes up quite frequently from parents raising kids in 2 or more languages. My toddler mixes his languages. Is he confused? Welcome to AskTetsu. I have been raised in multiple languages, and today I'm raising my own 4 kids in 5 languages. Subscribe if you want to know how I'm doing it so that you can also unlock the world's opportunities for your children. Alright, let's go. So your child is little, maybe 2 or 3 or so, and you want him to speak a foreign language, so you've been exposing him since birth to that language in addition to your native language. Then one day you realize that your child is mixing both languages when speaking, or sometimes even in the same sentence. And this is freaking you out. And suddenly, now you remember that your aunt told you not to raise your kids in 2 or more languages, because he will be confused. Oh, or now you regret not heeding your pediatrician's advice to teach your kids 1 language at a time. Or now you think that the caregiver at the daycare who told you to drop that additional language is making perfect sense. Now you feel like you've ruined your child's future because he will probably not even learn 1 language correctly. And then you panic. Does that sound familiar? Hey, I've been there. Well, not the panic part, but I mean, all 3 of my kids who are now old enough to talk have gone through this phase of mixing languages. For example, here's my oldest child, Ronnie, when he was 2. In that short sentence of only 4 words, there are 3 languages. I want is, of course, English. Bala means guava in Taiwanese. And taberu is a verb to eat in Japanese. And in linguistics jargon, we call this phenomenon code mixing or code switching, well, depending on the source that you read. And for a long time, it was widely thought that code switching or code mixing was a sign of confusion due to children not being able to separate different languages in their minds. Some even went as far as considering it incompetence or even a disability. But thankfully, more recent studies have actually debunked these myths. Now, I won't go into the details of these studies, but let me link up a few easy-to-read blog posts for you in the descriptions. Now, these articles summarize the topic of code switching and code mixing very well, and include references to some important original literature for those of you who actually want to really dig into this subject. But to come back to the original question, no, your child is not confused. And no, it does not mean that his language development will be delayed. And no, you have not ruined his life. In fact, experts would probably tell you that he's actually doing pretty well, and that he actually has a strong command of his languages, because switching between languages is a complex task that requires a lot of cognitive power. So, congratulations! Now you are torn. You don't know who to believe. The academics, the pediatrician, the daycare staff, your aunt, or hell, me, a random YouTuber. But it's okay. Take the time, read up on code switching and code mixing, starting from the links that I've provided, and you can make up your mind based on the information. But meanwhile, I can calm your nerves by telling you at least one thing, and that is the unintentional language mixing that your toddler seems to be doing right now is a transient phenomenon, and it will go away fairly quickly once the child masters the art of placing words that he knows into specific buckets called languages. Now, that is not to say that your child won't mix and match later in life, but this time it will be obvious that he is doing it intentionally. Alright, what do you think about code switching and code mixing? Is this a bad thing, a scary thing? Did you expect this to happen? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to learn more on code switching and code mixing, check out my earlier video on this topic in that corner. Or if you want to see other videos where I talk about different concepts and strategies in raising our multilingual kids, check out the playlist right below this window. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.